Take the play. -2 discovery, +2 pinch. What's a pinch? Alright, we can keep this. Probably gonna lose to not having lands, but we can try. Hullbreaker Horror? I think that's probably too expensive. This is not going well. We will need more lands. If anything, I already suspect that Discover the Formula is probably more expensive than I would like. I don't think we need more win cons either. I would prefer stuff that's card draw / ramp / effective removal. I feel like those are the axes the deck needs more of, in addition to more card draw. Alright, well, let's try to clock our opponent, I guess. Magma Jet. I think that I don't want more removal that overlaps with Stomp, because things that die to Stomp and Brazen Borrower, or, well, get bounced by Brazen Borrower, are the things that we don't struggle against. It's the stuff that slightly outsizes that gets tricky. I suppose I could play Frostbite, maybe? Cultivate. Possibly? Ooh, I love my opponent Pillar of Flaming a 1/1. Really, if I could just play 6 copies of... what's the name? 6 copies of Escape to the Wilds, I think that is mostly what I want more of, to be honest. What do you think, opponent? You want to take this 1/1 worth of damage? Or you want to trade your Delver of Secrets? Because that informs whether or not I play this Lovestruck Beast. You want out, buddy? What? Yeah? Meow. This is where the white for chop down was good. Well, the white for chop down was fine, but it was too dead in too many matchups to be worth it. Even when I was playing white, I still wound up cutting the chop down. They're just not enough 4-power creatures in Historic. Alright, Aberrations. You got it, opponent. Alright, Stomp is lovely. I would love to stomp some Aberrations. Does opponent want to kill a 1/1 and leave me with a Lovestruck Beast? Nope. Alright, so we do get to do some damage. I want to try to kill a Lovestruck Beast. Okay. I think that probably was incorrect compared to killing the 1/1, but yeah, alright. Harmonize. Maybe? I don't think so, though. I don't think... Harmonize not ramping seems kind of painful. And unfortunately, we don't actually have anything... I guess Seek the Wilds would, like, hit a Beanstalk Giant if we played it when we had 6 lands, but that's not when we want to be ramping. Cool. Alright. Opponent has drawn a bunch of Phoenixes. Only 2. Only 2 in the top less than 30. That's better than I would expect. Unfortunately, I still don't have any lands, so I still can't actually do anything, which is going to be a problem. In the sense that it means we're dead. But other than the part where we're dead, this is fine. There are some good reasons folks have forgotten about it. That is true. I wonder if I'm supposed to try to play Expressive Iteration. Is that probably lethal? Yeah, it is. Okay. Let's try this while we make land drops. That would improve the deck. Alright, so Mystical Dispute and 2 Grafdigger's Cages in, Lovestruck Beasts out. Why didn't we just double bounce during combat? We could. I didn't think that was really winning, but maybe it was better. I was kind of autopiloting. There wasn't any way we were winning that game, but that's not a great habit to be in anyway. Take the play, we'll keep the hand. This hand is actually pretty excellent if we manage to draw a 3rd land, so the plan is that we're just going to do that. Okay, well, if we do fail to draw a land, Lucky Clover is the next best thing we could be doing with our time, I believe. So I guess best thing that could happen to us would be that we draw Ketria Triome, or well, best thing that isn't an untapped land would be drawing Ketria Triome. Double sorcery. Sorcery instant. Anger of the Gods. That's an interesting card to board in against us, but okay. What do they discard? Only 1 Phoenix. That's a good sign. We have failed to draw a land. So that's kind of a bummer. Hopefully the opponent hard casts a Phoenix here. So we can just return it to their hand. That'd be swell. Maybe we play 2 modal double-faced lands to get up to 29 lands? What modal double-faced land would be beneficial for this deck? Probably just Jwari Disruption, so that you can hold it up off Beanstalk Giant when you turn 3 Beanstalk Giant with a Lucky Clover in play. I think I'm supposed to accept this damage. I don't really fancy the idea of them just replaying Dragon's Rage Channeler. I do think I fancy the idea of bouncing all 3 of these, even if it does give them more card draw. We're going to need to draw an untap land, though. That would be the goal. Failing that, a tap land would be Acceptablish. Untap land. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Alright. So we get a blue source for the Mystical Dispute. A green source. Do I play both Edgewall Innkeepers here? Even though that's a lot of green sources? I probably still do. If the opponent spends a bunch of mana answering these Innkeepers, I think I'm okay because I still have the Escape to the Wilds anyway. Crackling Drake is the best possible thing they could have done for me. We get to counter that. And then it's my turn, opponent? Opponent, I get to play Magic now? Alright. Well, let's go land. Let's actually play the other untapped land. That way we can Brazen Borrower if the opponent doesn't do anything meaningful. And failing that, we hold up Stomp. ×3. If I top deck a Stomp next turn, we win. Yeah, it's Dragon's Rage Channeler. That's also a Dragon's Rage Channeler. Can these block? No, they just must attack. Dragon's Rage before Faithless Looting is interesting. Now it's going to be hard for them to cast 3 spells in a turn. But hey, they've only found 1 Arclight Phoenix so far, so that's cool. Yep, there's the second. But only 2 in the top 30 is pretty good hits for us. Or not hits for them, I suppose, depending on how you want to call it. If we can successfully stomp the opponent's face 8 times for lethal, I will be very excited. Alright, play Brazen Borrower, draw 2. Beanstalk. Oh, hey, that's lethal. Cool. Alright. Alright, I'll take it. How many basics do I have left in the deck? Because I think that I want to go get 4 untapped lands with Beanstalk Giant. That feels like the fun play. Alright, and stomp the opponent's face 4 times. And then stomp the opponent's face 4 times. This deck's entertaining. I probably ought to be playing more Anger of the Gods instead of this Mystical Dispute. Or at least I should be boarding it in instead of Mystical Dispute, which requires me to have 1 more Anger of the Gods in the sideboard, I suppose. That's probably going to be instead of the Shadow Spear, realistically. What was Shadow? I think Shadow Spear used to be a way to beat the Jund Company lists. Because they just couldn't beat a Beanstalk with a Shadow Spear on it. But that's not really the case anymore. Alright. I'm not excited about this. This kind of goes to show why I'm not, like, super confident in Discover the Formula. Because it feels like I'm keeping a lot of 2-landers. And if that Discover the Formula was a Jwari Disruption, I would be much happier with this hand. So I think I'm going to make that change. Admittedly, actually, Expressive Iteration might be kind of good in this deck, too. Hey, that's a land. Radical. Am I supposed to shock to get out an Edgewall Innkeeper here? The opponent probably wouldn't have a very hard time removing it. But I don't really have any sequencing that is good with the Edgewall unless I draw another land anyway. So probably I'm supposed to. Yeah, we have had turn 2 Clover in I think literally every single game we've played thus far, which probably also helps the deck look good. Yeah. At least Pillar of Flame isn't an instant. That's something. Okay, I think we let this resolve. That's one Phoenix in the yard. 2 Phoenixes in the yard. Do they have a third spell to get the Phoenixes back this turn? Petty Thefting Phoenixes always feels kind of awful because they just have Faithless Looting sitting around to get more. Yes, so they're getting 2 Phoenixes back. Was there an argument for stomping on our turn to prevent surveils? I didn't want to stomp on my turn because there was a chance that I could stomp on the end of their turn to get 2 things removed, but maybe I'm not supposed to care about card advantage to that extent? I think I'm supposed to stomp the Phoenixes. I think I would rather the Phoenixes get brought back from the graveyard for free than give the opponent 2 cards with Faithless Looting for free. I think I want more islands here. I don't think I want to hold up Stomp. Or I don't think I want to have to get a second mountain, rather. Braid is sad. That's going to be a problem. They have braided on their upkeep? Huh. Is that actually what you're supposed to do with Dragon's Rage Channeler to control your draw step? That's interesting. Alrighty. Dragon's Rage Channeler, Petty Thefted. Beanstalk Giant. Okay. Well, that gives us Brazen Borrower. But no Lucky Clover yet. One more land gives us Fae of Wishes for Anger of the Gods. Brazen Borrower gets to block Channeler. Okay. Crackling Drake. That's not the scariest thing they could have done. Ideally, we draw... Oh, no, I can't Fae of Wishes for 2 things. I can only Fae of Wishes for 1 thing. So we can't go get a combo here. I could Beanstalk Giant and then wish for something. It leaves me kind of close to just dead, though, doesn't it? In fact, it leaves me probably dead. Best alternative, wish for something, then play Fae, chump block Crackling Drake. What would we wish for in that case? What, Ugin? Oh, that dastardly Abrade from earlier. I could get Grafdigger's Cage and play it. I just feel like that's probably still losing to the Crackling Drake. Don't have answers to that at the moment, other than chump blocks. I think it's probably got to be Passage. It's really not good, though. If this Discover the Formula was an Expressive Iteration, timing on that Unholy Heat seems wrong. Aren't they supposed to try to do it at sorcery speed to get back Phoenixes, or do they just already have something to get back Phoenixes guaranteed? No? Okay. Yeah. It doesn't seem like that was correct, but okay. Yeah, it's not gonna do anything. I believe I have no outs here. Yeah, Borrower bounces one, the other is still lethal. Wait, is that how that works? Is it supposed to make adventure cards cost 2 less? No, it's just a graphical glitch. Okay. I was gonna say, I don't think that's how that works. Okay. Good game, opponent. Alright. That's very misleading. Chris, I heard you on the Arena Craft podcast, and you were my favorite of the 3 that were guesting. Oh, thank you. I can't, defend your taste, but I appreciate it. So the other alternative is Expressive Iteration, and I'm not convinced that would be excellent, but it is an option and would help us make land drops like Jawari Disruption does. Alright, take the play. This hand seems completely garbage, so we're going to mulligan. This hand seems a lot better, so we're going to keep. And we're going to get rid of the Lovestruck Beast. And we're going to be extremely happy this Jawari Disruption is a land that we can play. And I need to remember to change this pet to a cat. So this is also a scenario where against control decks, Lucky Clover into Fae of Wishes, I want to be able to card draw spells, and we're not going to be able to here, unfortunately. But if we keep drawing lands, at least I get to cycle this Ketria Triome. That's something. So we get a island, and a forest, and pass. Sub to your YouTube sense hearing, and I've been watching your vids. Super knowledgeable and nice and chill. Well, I'm happy you think so. Let's see. What can I get with Granted? I'm assuming against any blue-white deck, I'm probably supposed to go get a Mystical Dispute, at least. I guess the other thing I'm supposed to grab is Explosion? Which maybe means I'm actually supposed to play the Ketria Triome, so that I can have double red for Explosion. I do like drawing more cards. Turn 2 Clover, turn 3 Footsteps is basically the busted curve, isn't it? Always be the dream. Yeah, I think that means I am supposed to play the Triumph. Ooh, alright. More Beanstalk Giants. Sounds great. So we can get more blue mana. I'm not sure why it seems like the interface is having a hard time detecting what land I'm mousing over right now. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright. And let's make some 1/1s. And I suppose let's hold up Mystical Dispute. Exclude. Okay. Not where I saw this going, but I guess that's fair. I have not cast a creature spell yet this game. Opponent's gonna have a hard time ever tapping out from now on, I feel like. Alright. Well, we attack with some creatures. I would like to go get more free spells. Let's get a Negate. And a Pact of Negation. Then let's play a Fae of Wishes. Unfortunately, we basically let the opponent Thoughtseize us because they now know every card in my hand. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe not. You want to destroy my Fae of Wishes and give me a free card? Thank you, opponent. I needed more cards. Very generous. Opponent doesn't have anything to do, so we're going to sit around and draw a card. Ooh, Edgewall Innkeeper. That draws cards. I needed to be able to draw more cards, so thankfully, that fits the bill just perfectly. Alright, let's play Beanstalk Giant as a giant threat. It also draws a card. Finds a land drop. Love to see it. I'm having fun. Wrath of God. Okay, sure. That's fine. I don't really need, like, creatures. Oh, it's a Lotus Field deck. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and deal 5 to the opponent and draw 5 cards. I think that's fair. Cool. Alright, we're gonna play the Lucky Clover, I think. And then discard, I guess, the land to hand size, although that doesn't feel great. Teferi. That is kind of annoying. I don't know if it's good, but it is annoying. Alright, opponent, you got my Pact of Negation. You have a counterspell for it? They do! The Jwari Disruption. Oh no! Alright, well, I can't use these counterspells now, opponent, so what you gonna do with that? Bounce a Lucky Clover. Okay. Well, I would like to play a Lucky Clover, and then I'm going to play a Lucky Clover, and then I'm going to Fertile Footsteps. Do you know that Teferi doesn't stop adventures? It's cool. We're going to put a forest into play. Then we're going to put a forest into play. Then we're going to put a forest into play. Then we're going to put an island into play. And then we're going to cast Escape to the Wilds. And unfortunately, that Beanstalk Giant doesn't do anything, since there is not actually any basics left in our deck, regrettably. So we're just gonna stomp the Teferi and then do 6 to our opponent's face, so the next Beanstalk, or the next Bonecrusher Giant is lethal. And we're gonna shock this Stomping Ground and not the other one. Oh, I could have held up Negate and Mystical Dispute. I probably should have shocked both. Oh well. What you gonna do? Make mistakes. Learn from them. Opponent not doing anything. That's kind of surprising. Alright, well, I'm gonna cast an Escape to the Wilds. What do you got to say about that, opponent? It resolves. Oh, hey, a Bonecrusher Giant. Sweet. Alright, well, I'm gonna try to stomp my opponent's face 4 times. And we'll find out if that's lethal. How have the games been? Well, the games where we've been doing this and had like 20 lands in play, those ones have been going great. The ones where we missed land drop number 3 have been more awkward. So against control, I'm thinking literally no changes. I could board in Mystical Dispute, I suppose. Or Negate. The only important thing is that I leave like 1 in the board so that I still have something meaningful to fetch with Fae of Wishes is. What would I cut? I got like nothing to cut. I don't know, no cuts. Is expansion worth it? I definitely like keeping expansion in the board because it's a card that I like to wish for against control decks. Hey Chris, thoughts on Expressive Iteration in this deck and the flex spots? I do think this deck is one of the better decks to take advantage of Expressive Iteration because it has a lot of cheap spells that are impactful. I don't think that it's unreasonable to run. I'm not sure whether I like it better than Jwari Disruption or not. I'm going to keep this hand because it's got 3 lands, Lucky Clover, and a Beanstalk Giant. But compared to Jwari Disruption, it might be that Expressive Iteration is better. I'm just not totally confident in that. Alright. Opponent also has rampy strategies. Good for them. What's the format for this weekend's monthly? This one is historic. This weekend. So I haven't had a 7-turn 2 Clover so far. There's a reason that I've been successful with Clover in the past. I am very good at having Clover in the opening hand. Opponent's also very good at having mana, though. Why are these so hard to click? Nothing, opponent? Okay. Unfortunately, I am a little nervous about the number of discontinuities the opponent might be running, because it turns out that against adventures, they are very powerful counterspells that otherwise I would really like to not have all of my spells multi-countered and not even get the adventure. Yeah, that is the concern. Alright, well, I would like to try to bait the counterspells out with... Jwari Disruption, not the counterspell I was looking to bait out. Memory Deluge, not the follow-up I was looking for. Oh, Escape to the Wilds? We're having such trouble resolving you now. Not a good spot to be. Okay, I do like Fae of Wishes. Let's make sure to make the land drops before we get discontinuity. That's going to be something I have to remember to play around. I don't think I'm getting Mystical Dispute at this point. And there's the Memory Deluge. I don't think that I'm supposed to get Grafdigger's Cage against other Memory Deluges, but it is an option. I'll take Negate. I guess I'll probably take Expansion Explosion beyond that. It's probably the most reasonable card. I think I play out the Fae of Wishes here. My logic being... Oh, okay. Well, sure. Yeah. I was going to say that I can discard Bonecrusher Giant and Stomping Grounds to it, but I don't need it that much that I'm willing to use up a Negate on it. Could stomp the opponent's face here, probably don't want to. Could stomp the opponent's face here, should I want to? Stomp, Bonecrusher, Shock. Yes, I do actually think I want to at this point. Next turn I can escape with double counterspell back up. I suspect I probably do negate if my opponent tries to play a card and draw spell here. Oh, it's just Giant Shark Typhoon. Okay. Well, I have a bunch of Brazen Borrowers for that. Hopefully that'll be good enough. I can also Explosion for 5. Narset's not a terribly huge deal, but it is also something that I don't want to have to Petty Theft later on. And also is card draw, but I guess I'm probably supposed to try to hold my Negate and resolve Escape to the Wilds here. Also, it sort of incentivizes them to not attack with a 5/5, which I think is to my benefit. Aether Gust, an unfortunately good answer to Escape to the Wilds. Alright, well, I don't think that I'm supposed to jam anything into that Aether Gust right now if I don't have to. I could jam Escape to the Wilds, I suppose. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to do that. I don't mind if it gets Aether Gusted, because it'll just go back on top, and that's fine. Yeah. That should be okay. Oh, I still have a land drop. Cool. No attack. Play land drop. Alright, no card draw spell for opponent. That's good. Opponent knows all the contents of my hand. That's less great. Fateful Absence could hit Lucky Clover. I don't necessarily need to stop it from doing that here. Okay, opponent doesn't want to protect Narset. That's fine by me. If they try to cycle a Giant Shark Typhoon here, we're okay with that. A Fateful Absence, we are also okay with that. Alright, try to resolve Escape, see what happens. Archmage's Charm, sure. Could fight over that. Do I want to? I have to, because I can't actually use Explosion as a card draw spell right now. Because there's an Narset in play. So resolving the escape is important. How many counterspells do you have, opponent? Is the answer 3. Does not appear to be 3 just yet. Lovely! Alright, lots of cards. Don't want to play into a board wipe. Don't want to bounce the Narset before I have to. So we definitely want to play an untapped land, and then I think we just play the other one tapped. Pass to the opponent's turn. End of turn, Petty Theft the Narset and the token, and draw a card. Land drop, sure. Petty Theft a token. Petty Theft a Narset. Admittedly, Petty Thefting a Narset isn't exciting, but gotta do it to get it off the board. We do want these Edgewall Innkeepers to draw cards. Heliod's Intervention? Huh, okay. Well, that does blow up a Lucky Clover, I guess. I'm gonna crack the clue, though. Yeah, there's a land. Alright. 1 unknown card for the opponent. Alright. Edgewall Innkeeper. Second Edgewall Innkeeper. Beanstalk Giant that's extremely large. Draw 2. Brazen Borrower. Draw 2. Do I play Bonecrusher Giant to draw 2? Or do I hold up Stomp? I'm probably supposed to draw 2. Yikes. Alright, we don't have a lot of lands left in the deck. Shark Typhoon's only for 6 here, so that's not threatening lethal. Definitely going to chump block with Brazen Borrower. Narset probably looking for a board wipe, otherwise Beanstalk Giant has to get chump blocked by a 6/6. Exclude isn't a board wipe. Narset to dig. This is a fun deck to play against control, isn't it? Alright, we're going to keep this because it's got turn 2 Lucky Clover again. No sleeves? Yeah! This is the best. Unfortunately, we did not get to play turn 2 Lucky Clover. Ancient Stirrings would be great. Yeah, it does have a little bit of a whiff chance because we are not actually playing any other artifacts, but Ancient Stirrings just hitting land or clover would probably be good enough. I'm going to keep this. Can Lear cast Adventure Side of creatures out of the graveyard? No. Adventure creatures in any zone other than the stack are considered to only have the characteristics of the creature half the card. Alright, well, we have a hand that has Lucky Clover, 3 lands, and Beanstalk Giant, so we're going to keep. No, we don't have a hand that has Lucky Clover. This is terrible. Ooh. Oh, we might have Beanstalk Giant into Escape to the Wilds? That'd be fun. Oh, I probably should have adventured that Lovestruck Beast now that the opponent actually removed my reason to wait to adventure the Lovestruck Beast. Oh well. I'm sure holding up Brazen Borrower wasn't going to be useful against their deck. Sweet! Got a 1-for-1 with the 1/1 half of Lovestruck Beast. You'll love to see it. Season Pyromancer? Yeah, it's probably not worth having bounced. Beanstalk Giant, get a blue source, see how the opponent reacts to Escape to the Wilds next turn, hopefully. Temur Adventures today, no more Temur Sky Striker. They could top deck a Thoughtseize at exactly the right time to take away the Escape to the Wilds, sure. Yeah, this is the matchup I was worried about. Crux is challenging for this deck to beat. Oh, we can just top deck Escape to the Wilds. Okay, never mind. Do. Opponent has enough to escape a Croxa. They are curving out spectacularly. Kudos, opponent. The Expressive Iteration is actually kind of hard to use here. Huh. Yeah, I guess it's only going to be one card. Because I'm probably petty thefting the Croxa and stomping the Pyromancer. And then I'd rather... I'm not sure if there was like any scenario in which we could actually get a 2-for-1 out of Expressive Iteration there. I think it might have been literally impossible. But I guess getting rid of 3 lands from the top of our deck was kind of like actually getting more than 1 card worth of value out of it, huh? Chris was nice enough to give me a break from teaching people Yu-Gi-Oh! You mean tonight or Saturday? Do I want to get rid of Bonecrusher Giant? I don't really. Alright, land goes away. Is this deck literally just Eldraine Tribal? Nah, we have... we got Expressive Iterations that might be good. I'm not totally sure. Okay, so let's Fertile Footsteps. We also have a sideboard that's like real cards. And the Stomp you. I guess I'm probably supposed to play the Lovestruck Beast. So, because that one can actually block the Den of the Bugbear. Based on power level, I'm willing to call Expressive Iteration Honorary Eldraine. Alright, that's not unreasonable. Is a big Croxa. But you know what's bigger than Croxa? A giant. I guess they're both technically giants, but this one's a bigger giant, opponent. Do you have a removal spell for my giant? No, you don't. Radical. Okay, well. What do we do? I can't really tutor anything with Fae of Wishes if I'm not going to play it immediately. Because they can just attack with Croxa to remove it from hand. Which means... Grafdiggers? Oh, wait, no, I can super grab a Shadow Spear. That's actually, like, wicked good, isn't it? Boop. Boop. Yeah, opponent agrees, that's pretty good here. Alright, success. Wait. Does Kamigawa actually come out next week? Oh no, I'm gonna have to mulligan a hand that has Lucky Clover and Beanstalk Giant. That's sad. We do get to keep this hand that has turn 2 Lucky Clover though. So that's nice. Still continuing the trend of having yet to not have turn 2 Lucky Clover. Except for that game that we had turn 2 Lucky Clover and then our opponent denied us turn 2 Lucky Clover, but I don't think that actually counts. I can't remove Strict Proctor in response to the trigger or anything from a Lotus Field. I guess if you're playing this blue-white Stifle Mirror, if they go turn 2 Strict Proctor into turn 3 Lotus Field, you can stifle their strict proctor trigger, so they have to sack 2 lands to their Lotus Field, is like technically a thing. Also, the opponent missed a land drop, so that's cool. Can we vote on sleeve/pet/land art for your run in the championship? Sleeves? No, definitely not. Oh, no, actually. And the reason for that's kind of boring, but it's that they use custom accounts for those championship matches, and it's usually a serious pain to try to get cosmetics on them, unfortunately. Regrettably. I do actually want a Fae of Wishes here. I think I probably wind up getting a Fabled Passage and a Mystical Dispute in this position. And as always, when resolving Fae of Wishes, make sure to fetch the card that you want more first, because they might counter your second Fae of Wishes. With so many gems, those have so much in-game currency? Yes, but a lot of cosmetics are time-locked. So even with a bunch of gems, you can't buy them. Okay, Bonebounced Clover. Sure. Could bounce to Fairy and Strict Proctor. Probably what I'm supposed to do. Bouncity. Bouncity. Then, if they replay the Teferi, I get to Mystical Dispute it. They just replay a Strict Proctor. Okay, does that mean they top deck the Lotus Field? No, a Search for Escanta. Opponent, I don't care about you drawing cards. Oh, Lotus Field. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I cracked this Fabled Passage, because I do kind of want to draw a basic. I guess that wasn't actually true. Escape to the Wilds was probably going to hit basics for me already. Oh well. No untapped blue land. That's actually kind of painful. Alright. Well, land, shock, land, Clover. Opponent can play Teferi and down tick on a Clover. We're still gonna get a bunch of mana next turn with Beanstalk Giant. Then we have, like... actually, I have lethal if the opponent decides to tap out and doesn't answer one of my Clovers. That'd be cool. That's a Hero of Dominaria. Alright, that makes mana. You have access to the all-access account year-round, though. I don't actually know if that's the case currently. Last year, for the MPL and Rival Leagues, we had accounts that we used for the League weekends and all of the set championships. I don't know whether the account we got for the last set champion is still active, to be honest. Alright, well, let's Fertile Footsteps, because that costs 0 mana. Get an island. Get a forest. Get a mountain. Why not? Cast granted. Go get 3 cards from the sideboard. Let's get Negate. Let's get Pact of Negation. Nah. Let's get Expansion Explosion, maybe? I could just get Body Research Thud and try to force that through, depending on how many counter spells they have game 1. You know, got Mystical Dispute and Negate, but Mystical Dispute's probably not going to be good against the Lotus Field deck. I mean, I guess I can just get more counter spells for now. Then play an untap land and play Fae of Wishes and hold up Fae of Wishes activation at the end of their turn. Memory Deluge. Is this worth negating? Yeah, probably. I think they're probably likely to play Time Raveler, which doesn't actually matter very much to me, because I can just Petty Theft it away. Ketria Triome was what went away, but I wanted that untap lane, so that works. Have you played against Jeskai control yet? No, but we've played against this blue-white control deck a couple of times now. Shark Typhoon. Okay. Yeah, I don't care about that at all. Like, at all. Narset. Okay. I think that means we win. I mean, they do get to untap 4 mana, but they're going to need 2 counter spells with 4 mana? No, they're going to need like 3 counter spells with 4 mana? That sounds hard. It sounds very hard for them to do. I guess they could blow up Fae of Wishes would kind of tax my mana here. To be fair, opponent doesn't know that they're basically dead. Oh, they're actually just dead. Cool. Understandable that you would think you could try to do that, opponent, but nah. Nah, not even a little bit. Alright, Fae of Wishes, getting rid of Edgewall and Edgewall. Let's shock, why not? Granted. I would like to get a Alchemist's Gambit and a Body of Research and a Thud. I would like to take an extra turn, please. And I'll play a Fae of Wishes, why not? Okay. Go to my extra turn, where I will lose the game if I do not win the game. Then we're going to Body of Research. Then we're going to Thud the opponent. And I've only got 3 counterspell as backup. Good times. Let's see, what did we consider changing last time against Control? Probably nothing. Probably nothing. Can't believe you would just throw your dissertation at them like that. It's the most use I've ever found for my dissertation. Let's go shopping on your MPL account and make sure you're arriving in Kamigawa in style. I don't know. I'm pretty about those basic aesthetic life. Or, well, basic aesthetic? What would you call that? There should be some kind of catchy term for that. I love this deck so much, but the mirror matches almost made me retire from Magic. Luckily, you don't really have to worry about playing the mirror match in Historic. How about some Boomer Frame basics? Aren't I already doing that? Normcore? Okay, yeah. That's fair. Pumpkin Spice Core? Pumpkin Spice Core? Mixed lands are not Boomer lands? Are you kidding? Theros was like 2.5 years ago. That is absolutely boomer lands. Just lost to Grixis, time to retire. Well, was it a deck that was running the Grixis colors, or a deck that was truly Grixis? Because in order to be truly Grixis, hey, cool, turn 2 Lucky Clover, we're going to keep it. In order to be truly Grixis, it needs to play the 5-mana Nicol Bolas. That's the separation between a deck that just happens to be Grixis and a player with a Grixis soul. It did have Bolas. Alright. Alright, try to play turn 2 Lucky Clover. It even resolves. Cool. So now all we need to do is draw an untap land. Strict Proctor, Lotus Field. Yep, there goes the opponent. But we drew an untapped land, so that's radical. We Beanstalk. We're gonna get a blue source and a green source. I don't think I need more red sources, but I do think that I would benefit from having 1/1s around to punch Narsets. Meant the pre-8th edition frame, but I'm not that old. I'm only a boomer Magic player, not a grandpa Magic player. Well, I could Petty Theft the Proctor to kill the Teferi. But I could also escape to the wilds first and then do that. Or we could miss the blue land. So not available. We'll just have to play this Lucky Clover again. What a shame. What was your first MTG set, like the one most recently released when you started playing? The set that was released when I started playing was Khans of Tarkir on digital. And the first paper event I ever played was the Fate Reforged pre-release. Opponent has a lot of planeswalkers. Portable Hole is kind of a problem. Oh, no it's not. Good point. Good point, opponent. Not a problem. Never mind. Still have a Clover. All is well. 6 mana's kind of annoying, though. Alright, let's start with Escape to the Wilds, because that probably gets countered. Then I can Beanstalk Lovestruck Beast. Commit the Escape to the Wilds. Oh, okay. Well, I actually got punished for my sequencing then, didn't I? Alright, shuffle it away. You got me, opponent. Island. Oh, okay. Huh. Wasn't expecting the Dovin's Veto, but that stops me from answering the memory. That was clever of them that they played around that. I was thinking I was going to double Petty Theft the Narset in response to the memory. Huh. Okay. Well, that's going to make this hard then. Oh, that's true. We could have floated to second main because of the way they tap those Lotus Fields. I wasn't even paying attention to that, but it is something that that deck should be concerned about, isn't it? Oh, hey, cool. We drew the only card that mattered. We do still need the opponent to not have a counterspell, which will be kind of difficult, but not impossible. Alright, attempt Escape to the Wilds, hope that resolves. More vetoes. not great. Alright, that'll be game. I probably couldn't beat them having the Dovin's Veto in hand either. Well, no, they needed 2 counterspells if I actually had the 2 mana up. Alright, alright. I think that game might have been winnable if I had played it better, but that's educational. Don't dislike losing an educational game. Is opponent playing Proctor over Bloodsun because it lets them remain blue-white? That, and also it costs less mana. And, incidentally, hates on a lot of other random aggro decks. The blocker is kind of useful, in the same sense that Geist Channeler is kind of useful against random aggro decks. Takes a play. It also shuts off the ETBs from creatures and stuff that might otherwise be annoying for them. We'll take this. Because it has Lucky Clover on 2. And I'm not about to end my streak of playing Lucky Clover on 2 yet. No mana to cast the Expressive Iteration is a little awkward. Okay. I think I'm supposed to play Edgewall Innkeeper and pass. I don't think I'm supposed to play Fae of Wishes with Edgewall Innkeeper out. Opponent might be tempted to play Narset here, in which case I got a Stomp. Opponent is in fact tempted to play Narset here. No timing window for me to double Stomp it, regrettably. Before it can downtick, I mean to say. Which I kind of would like to do, but cannot. Alright, Stomp the opponent's face. Stomp the opponent's Narset. Remember to punch the Narset before casting Bonecrusher. Cast a Bonecrusher, draw a card, play a tap land. The rest of our hand is mostly card advantage, which is good. Archmage's Charm steals an Edgewall Innkeeper. That's not particularly horrifying. Alright. We get to play a land, and then Fae of Wishes, get Mystical Dispute. I could get Negate. I'm probably supposed to also get Negate. The other Fae of Wishes is probably going to be more than enough card draw. I think I just want to be able to protect the card draw. Why does this deck need more card draw like Expressive Iteration? Every card in your deck is like already a 5-for-1 or something. Partially because the card advantage can be very relevant against decks with a lot of hand hate elements. Red-black is a matchup that I'm kind of concerned about, and Expressive Iteration does help there. But other than that, I'm not necessarily convinced that Expressive Iteration is necessary for the deck, per se. It is entirely possible it is not the correct card to be playing. Friends, thanks for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Alright, let's draw some more cards. I think I want Expressive Iteration, or, well, Expansion Explosion, that is to say. The actual name of that card. And probably Pact of Negation would be good. Shock and hold up Negate. Opponent loses the Edgewall. Plays around Petty Theft, that makes sense. This deck might need a single Alpine Moon in the sideboard would be game-winning here. I don't know that this is a matchup I'm actually, like, worried about, because I think we're already hugely favored, in all likelihood. Alright, let's start with Expressive Iteration, see what we hit. We're going to get a Bonecrusher and an Edgewall Innkeeper. Then we're going to play Edgewall Innkeeper and adventure a Lovestruck Beast. And shock. And play Lovestruck Beast and wonder if I had lethal. I did have lethal. we're going to pretend I didn't have lethal. I think I had enough mana to stomp their face and expansion it, which was, 6 damage, but yeah, whatever. I'm not here to do math. I'm just here to draw cards. I feel like that's a familiar username I've played against before, but I don't remember why. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, team. Uh-oh. There's no clover. Are we allowed to keep a hand without a clover? Oh, it's set. Okay. It'll be fine. We're just going to draw a clover on turn 2 and then draw a land on turn 3. I mean, mostly I'm keeping this because the backup case of Beanstalk Giant and a turn 4 Escape to the Wilds is usually good against Giganta lists, but we'll see how this goes. Five-color Niv? Probably, especially given the Triome. I don't know what to actually expect out of this matchup, come to think of it. Probably pretty bad post-board because of Dovin's Vetoes. I don't think I'm supposed to stomp face here. I think I get my island. Expressive Iteration is nice here to hit a land. I don't really have any hate pieces for Niv Mizzet, do I? Oh, hey, cool, a land. Alright. Land, jam Expressive Iteration, or jam Escape to the Wilds, because I don't care about getting the full value of cards off it. Mostly I just want the ramp. But it looks like we probably will still be getting the full card draw off of it regardless. So if I can find 2 more clovers, we're set up for the combo kill. It's pretty weird they didn't play Kavu on 2. They always have the Kavu. Yeah, I agree. No Kavu on 2 was suspicious. Alright, how are we sequencing this? I think I start off with... No, I mean, I guess I just don't even care about the Bonecrusher Giant. I think I'm just Beanstalk Gianting into Escape to the Wilds. I think I'm deck thinning and drawing cards. I feel like in this position, all that matters is finding clovers. Sweet. Found a clover. I'll make a jump blocker, why not? Do those Kavus have trample? I hope they don't. Alright, so 1 Lucky Clover, 2 Lucky Clover. If we draw a Lucky Clover, we win the game, provided they don't have a counterspell. Does not have trample, it would seem. No, we didn't draw Clover. That's so disappointing. Alright, play 1 Clover. Oh wait, maybe I still have enough mana to win the game? No, I need a land. I'm 1 mana short, so I can Fae of Wishes for half of the combo plus a Time Walk, and then Fae of Wishes for the other half of the combo, but I'm... Oh, and a land, right? I think that works. I think this is lethal? Oh, okay. Wait, I really needed to figure out if that was lethal. Does that work? Okay, so if I get Alchemist's Gambit and the fetch land here, next turn I Fae of Wishes, play the fetch land, and 7 mana lethal? Yes. Oh, okay, I'm pretty confident that worked. The lethal was that we used 1 Fae of Wishes to grab Fabled Passage and Alchemist's Gambit, take an extra turn. Next turn we play the Fabled Passage up to 11 mana, and with 11 mana we cast Fae of Wishes, down to 7 mana, grab Body of Research and Thud, and use the last 7 mana to cast both of them, which does like 30 damage to the opponent's face, which is lethal. No changes. Just gonna have to hope that's good enough. The Kavu doesn't randomly, like, blow up artifacts every time it attacks, does it? Alright, we get to turn 2 Lucky Clover this time around. I'm willing to keep that. I finally broke my streak last game, and although that hurts, I think we can endure. Okay, well, we got a Lucky Clover. Next turn, do we play Lucky Clover or Expressive Iteration? I guess we probably play Lucky Clover, maybe? I'm actually not 1,000,000% certain of that. No, it's probably Expressive Iteration. Okay. Well, I imagine that I'm just playing the land and Edgewall Innkeeper. Exiles your yard or cycles a card from their hand. Excellent. I'm so used to Kavo just incidentally countering whatever I play. No! That's an extremely good Prismari command. How come they're playing such deadly tech cards? So they're missing white for Niv Mizzet. Am I okay with that? I don't think I'm jamming the Clover here. I think I'm cycling Ketria Triome. There's the white. Are you afraid of my Mystical Disputes, opponent? Absolutely, technically could have sideboarded them in. I'm probably not supposed to bounce the Teferi here. I think I'm supposed to cycle Ketria Triome. Be interesting to see. I guess they can hold out Vanishing Verse and Dovin's Veto with the same 2 lands. Yeah. They do represents both. That is annoying. Alright. Attempt to play a Clover. Resolves. Attempt to play a Clover. Resolves. Play a land. I'm anticipating that there's probably a decent chance we cycle this Ketria Triome. But we've set up for Fae of Wishes. Depending on how we sequence this, I guess I might play the Ketria Triome and try to set up for 7-mana lethal with Fae of Wishes, if we can get the opponent to tap out. It's hard to get them to tap out with a Teferi in play, though. Deputy of Detention is annoying. At least I got Brazen Borrower for that? Huh. Aggressively holding up counter spells is difficult. Okay. Play the Ketria Triome, which should inform them something's up that I'm not trying to cycle that. Oh, No, I can't bounce the Deputy Detentions and then Bonecrusher the Teferi before they have a chance to uptick the Teferi. Because if I do that, then they replay the Deputy and hit my Clovers again. I need my opponent to not have Dovin's Veto, which seems difficult. Alright, bounce Deputy. Opponent has something on 2 mana that isn't Veto? What could this be? don't know. Alright, let's also play Borrower. I don't think I'm supposed to stomp here. They could downtick to Fairy on Clover now, which stops me from having lethal, even if they don't have Counterspell up. The list also runs 2 disputes. Interesting. Alright. Brazen Borrower is allowed to resolve. Clover gets bounced. Annoying. But replay Clover stomp stuff should be pretty helpful. Doesn't really give me an opening through the Deputy. Maybe the opponent will be kind enough to just tap out completely? No, wait, they already bounced a Clover, so even if they tap out completely, I still don't actually have lethal. Okay. Okay. Beanstalk Giant's cool. I do like that magic card. Play a Lucky Clover. I think if they had Prismari Command, they probably would have used it there. Get some lands out of the deck. Get to stomp one of the Teferis. We get to play Bonecrusher Giant, which can get Mystical Disputed, and then they Dovin's Veto the Lucky Clovers, and I'm kind of... I guess I'm top-decking towards Petty Theft to get back the Clovers then. I've got enough mana at this point that I could Petty Theft the Clovers back and still have lethal. Yeah, alright, there's the Mystical Dispute. We're happy to have that gone. Cards drawn. I mean, we could hope the opponent tries to play Niv Mizzet and whiffs on hitting a Dovin's Veto, and then we could win. That's asking for a lot. No, more white sources, no. Alright, Deputy steals some stuff. Complicated. Alright. Let's draw pit. Oh, that's not Dovin's Veto? No. No. We had the opening. We had it. What do we do here? What do we do here? 1 mana away from playing Ugin, who I'm not even actually convinced would be good, but would at least be interesting. Now, I think I just play Beanstalk Giant and, like, hope that that's meaningful in some way, but I'm not convinced it is. Might be kind of hard for them to remove. Hopefully. Really, the problem is we just don't have enough mana. I need 12, not 11. Ooh, Binding the Old Gods. Okay. Beanstalk Giant gone. Pwn and draw cards. Yep. Land discarded. The fact that they discarded one of the lands that cycles is probably a bad sign. Niv Mizzet. Okay. With Dovin's Veto? With Dovin's Veto? With on Dovin's Veto? Please don't have Dovin's Veto? No Dovin's Veto in! Top deck Petty Theft. 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 Top deck Petty Theft? No. Dovin's Veto mana this time, opponent. You didn't do that last time. Okay, escape to the wilds. Ooh. Alright, well, it's not Dovin's Veto being held up, but also Yowzes. That was not a good escape to the wilds. So. How do I avoid dying to Lightning Helix is the question. The answer is I might not be able to do that. Fae of Wishes. I guess I'm unsummoning the entire board is the game plan. That's about as bad as this gets. No. That also was very bad for me. Do I have anything I can do with the 1 mana that's meaningful here? I don't believe I have the unsummon. Okay. We're gonna get Pact of Negation for Lightning Helix, and we're not technically dead. Yeah. All right. Not quite, huh? Not quite. Well, I still think probably no changes. I wonder what would have happened if we had top-decked the Petty Theft instead of the Escape to the Wilds. I'm assuming they probably would have Petty Thefted one of the wishes? Or they would have Mystical Disputed one of the wishes, which would have stopped us from having lethal? Probably? I know Beanstalk can get lots and lots of basics, but do we really need 12? Yes. And there have been multiple situations where I have been upset that I haven't had more basics than that, to be honest. It's a lot more relevant than you might think. You run into a lot of situations in the mid to late game where you have to just, like, cast a Beanstalk Giant that makes mana instead of costing mana. And if you run out of basics, so, like, with 3 Clovers and a Beanstalk Giant is a ritual. And you do run into situations where you could do really useful things if it was actually a ritual, but you ran out of basics instead. The mana for the deck is generally not a problem, so the cost of basics isn't very high. Huh. Alright, this is a pretty bad hand, so I'm going to keep. I am a little worried this hand doesn't get to handle a Kavu, though. Oh, hey, but we drew the Clover on too. No turn 2 Clover? Ye of little faith! Oh, that's cute. That Kavu's a 4/4. That is extremely stompable sized Kavus. I'm a little nervous about running out this Edgewall Innkeeper here. I don't think I can do it into mass removal, although if I don't find a 4th land, I'm still kind of in trouble regardless. Prismari would be moderately annoying, but not the end of the world given the contents of the hand as it stands. Definitely gonna wanna draw an untapped land, though. Or I guess if they don't blow up Lucky Clover, then Beanstalk Giant wouldn't be bad either. Kavu. 5/5 Kavu. Failing to draw an untapped land. Yuck. I mean, just playing Lovestruck Beast here would be like the worst possible thing I could imagine. I could play Edgewall Innkeeper into Fae of Wishes, but that's just miserable against so many things. Yowzas. Alright, well, I guess we're just playing Lovestruck Beast instead of Lovestruck Beast plus Edgewall like I wanted to. Not good, not good, not good. Vanishing Verse killing Lovestruck Beast is a rough spot to be in here. I don't want my opponent to use a bunch of mana. Binding the Old Gods is bad for me. I don't like any of this. Alright, it'll be fine. We'll just draw untapped lands or Beanstalk Giants. Shouldn't be a problem. Hopefully. No cards in my yard. That has horrifying implications about the quality of the opponent's hand. Yeah, Brazen Borrower is a very not great card to have right now. So that's bad. We are now going to play Edgewall Innkeeper plus Fae of Wishes, try to hit a land drop. Alright, it's a land drop. That gives us a chump block on Territorial Kavu. Could try to set up some way to do lethal with Brazen Borrowers if we top deck a blue source over a couple of turns, which isn't likely, but is possible if the opponent's hand is bad. Not terribly likely the opponent's hand is bad because they didn't loot last turn, but you know, I can still hope. Maybe they just have a handful of like 4 Dovin's Vetoes. And I might be able to do something against that with Brazen Borrower beatdowns. Technically possible. Am I supposed to chump block here or do more damage? Because I could attack for 1 with Fae of Wishes. It's legal. I'm not a coward. No cowardice here. We're racing. That's the life we were born into. Alright. Banishing Verses and Lightning Helix. Lucky Clover. It's not even helpful a little bit. It's too bad Brazen Borrower doesn't hit your own creatures. It'd only be like totally busted if it did. Frankly, I don't understand why they didn't let us do that. Okay. Lucky Clover. Fae of Wishes attack phase. Opponent has an incentive to remove the 1/1, which gives me the opening to Petty Theft the Kavu after they invest in that. Which, like, might be useful-ish. Probably not. Solar Blaze isn't... I guess it's multicolored board wipe, so it's fetchable with Niv is the idea, but the fact that it kills your own giant creatures is kind of a interesting choice. Compared to the 3 mana deal 3 to everything? Maelstrom Pulse. That's extremely rude. Okay. Well, now I can bounce Kavu and not fizzle my borrowers, which is kind of relevant. Maybe that's a good thing? I can pretend that's a good thing. It does kill Beanstalk. This is true. Banishing versus Fae of Wishes I'd actually be into. I don't really have a use for the Fae of Wishes other than it does 8 damage a turn right now. Deputy of Detention. Okay. Sure. It could have been worse. Alright, let's bounce that Kavu so the opponent can't keep looting. Let's draw that land. Do I shock so that I can Petty Theft the Kavu? Yes? I think so. I think I'm on plan Petty Theft Kavu at the end of their turn pretty badly so that I have the opening to escape to the wilds. Hero and Kavu kind of sucks.
Keep up the pace.
Well, I think it's more important that I get rid of the Kavu than the Teferi. Play around Mystical Dispute by doing everything before they untap with Teferi. Okay. Could do Beanstalk into Borrower. Put the opponent to 9. Put the opponent to 3 next turn. If they don't downtick or have removal spells elsewise. First, go to combat. Opponent has priority for something, which means could be a cycle land, could be Prismari Command, could be Lightning Helix. Lightning Helix face attack puts me to 1, puts them to more mana. It's a problem. like 1 mana short of doing anything too simple here, unfortunately. Can't just be straightforward, can it? I think I gotta escape. I don't see... I mean, like, I need them to not have Mystical Dispute. That's the start no matter what. Okay. So we get 2 lands and a land drop next turn. We're not really pressuring lethal. Okay, it is just a Triome. Still gonna have trouble dealing with that Kavu's represented lethal no matter what. No! That's an extremely bad time for this to happen, because it implies there's more of them! Ah... GG's. Yeah. Definitely complicated by the missed land drops, but that was a pretty interesting game regardless. Okay, well, this hand seems stellar, so we're going to keep it, and then we're going to draw a land, and everything will be fine. Definitely just going to draw a land, and everything will be fine. Definitely just going to draw a land, and everything will be fine. Okay, Burning Tree Emissary, Burning Tree Emissary, Burning Tree Emissary, into Stomp on a 1/1. Okay, yeah, that's concerning. Hey, we drew land, but it was the wrong land. We needed that land on a different turn. Sweet. Take a bunch of damage, opponent plays a Bonecrusher. No, they play Aronis. Opponent, you just got to be so rude, don't you? So I'm taking 11 damage next turn? That's concerning. I could just play Lovestruck Beast and block a Burning Tree Emissary and then, like, take 9 damage. That only also totally sucks. Alright, different plan. We get a red source and a green source, and we play this here Edgewall, a chump block Aronis, and then hope to somehow, like, not die because we draw Petty Theft? Okay, we take 8 damage, because I guess that is more damage than playing the Bonecrusher, sort of. Escape to the Wilds into Petty Theft potentially makes us not dead. Or I could Beanstalk Giant into Expressive Iteration? I think that... Huh. I wonder how the math on that works out. Is Beanstalk Giant and then Expressive Iteration more likely or less likely to hit a Petty Theft than... I guess Escape to the Wilds also has to hit 2 untap lands, so that's like wildly less likely. Is there any way that I could ever use Stomp here? If the opponent plays incorrectly with Aronis, I guess? I'm debating whether I want to have mana up to Lovestruck Beast off of Expressive Iteration, or, well, Heart's Desire off of Expressive Iteration. That's not going to do it, right? I mean, I could play Lovestruck Beast, but that's still dead. Nope. Alright. Turn 2, triple Burning Tree Emissary. Unfortunately too fast for a hand that doesn't interact. Not entirely true. We played a 1/1. They just had an answer to it. Okay. No changes. Hopefully this time the aggro deck isn't so fast that a Lovestruck Beast is too slow. Kind of wild that this updated version gets to play Expressive Iteration. Yeah, although to be honest, I'm still kind of trying to figure out if the Expressive Iteration is actually good or not. Jury's sort of out on that, to be entirely honest. I think I get rid of a Beanstalk Giant here. I think I'm just going turn 2 Adventure Lovestruck Beast, turn 3 Lovestruck Beast. Hope that's enough. Okay, Lucky Clover's pretty good, but unfortunately our mana base does not support doing that right now. Pelt Collector, get bigger. No block. Think I gotta play Lovestruck Beast to slow things down, and then next turn Lucky Clover Edgewall, Beanstalk the turn after that. It's really not an ideal curve out. I agree that Expressive might be a little too cute, but I still haven't really figured out what the alternative is best off being. Alright, Lovestruck doing anti-aggro things the way that it's supposed to. Do love to see it. Am I supposed to Lucky Clover in Edgewall, or am I just supposed to Beanstalk Lucky Clover? I think I'm probably just supposed to Beanstalk Lucky Clover, which does not feel like a satisfying chain of cards, but does set up for a stronger Escape to the Wilds next turn. I really hope they don't attack with everything here, because that would indicate Embercleave, and that would be a problem. We go to 13 here. If they Embercleave the Voltaic Brawler, and I block the Pelt Collector. If I double block the Ferocidon, we also go to 13, but my 1/1 dies. If I double block the Brawler, I take infinity damage. Probably supposed to double block the Ferocidon, I think. Okay, so Petty Theft, and we're sort of alright. That's Petty Theft. That is land with which we are allowed to cast a Petty Theft. Shocking to do so does not sound exciting. So they Embercleave onto Llanowar Elves, swing with everything, and have lethal in 2 turns? Ronan? That doesn't seem good. Okay. I guess they could have an Hexproof spell here. Do you use the energy to pump the Brawler? They do. Despite the onboard Petty Theft. Pause could just be Lair of the Hydra. Twas Lair of the Hydra. Alright, Petty Theft's a good draw. Petty Theft's a very good draw. Okay, well then I think I'm supposed to Expressive Iteration probably. Interesting. Alright. This was wrong. I was supposed to grab the Fae of Wishes, not the Beanstalk Giant. I got greedy. It'll probably be fine. Maybe. Well, maybe this isn't wrong. This could still be right. It was definitely wrong. I was supposed to take the Clover and the Fae, and then if we survive with double Brazen Borrower plus Innkeeper Chump Blocker, we had lethal with 2 Clovers and a Fae next turn. Oh well. Am I supposed to play the Innkeeper here? Can I win this game in a position where I need to chump block? Because if I play the Innkeeper, then I expose myself to Stomp. The mana efficiency is also pretty good. I don't think I can afford to expose myself to Stomp here. What card did we just lose? A land. Okay. Ninja Pikmin, thanks for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Okay. Questing Beast, sure. What am I supposed to bounce here? Ronus doesn't technically attack, but will attack next turn, and that'll be a problem. So I think I'm supposed to bounce Questing Beast, Pelt Collector, and Ronus. Then we take 1. We can play Beanstalk Giant to trade with a Questing Beast next turn. You're not going to have enough mana to play it and equip it with an Embercleave. Okay, so we get to play Edgewall. We get to play Beanstalk. Beanstalk is big. I think I'm supposed to play Brazen Borrower here. Kind of informs what I do with my next land drop. And then, yeah, I think I'm supposed to play Ketria Triome and not bother cycling it, given that I've drawn an Escape to the Wilds. Alright, this position isn't horrible. I do still wish that I had taken the other Fae of Wishes, so we would have already won by now, but yeah, you know, what you gonna do? How often do you actually cycle the Triomes? Sometimes, but usually only when you got nothing better to do, and most of the time you got something better to do. Burning Tree, okay, pumps the Pelt Collector. Questing Beast. Forces the block with Beanstalk. Well, alternatively, I could go to 1. I guess that makes me dead to Stomp, which isn't terribly exciting. How much? 15, 16, 17. So if I just block the Pelt Collector, it's not entirely unreasonable we might have lethal. I think Petty Theft and Stomp are both lethal here. Well, Petty Theft is lethal if we hit 2 lands. I think I'm supposed to take that risk. Fae of Wishes. That's gotta have some way that it's lethal, right? Probably. I think I just kill my opponent with, like, 28 damage to the face, which should be good enough. And we can do it with Pact of Negation back up, too. Holding full control. I would like to thud my opponent in the face. And I would like to copy it. What is this interface? Okay, sure. That's new. Okay. 28 damage to face, please. Whee! We have one of the mini combos, yes. Guess that interface only happens in full control? Oh, yeah, maybe that is it. That might just be because of full control. I wonder if I'm, like, supposed to board in Anger of the Gods? But I don't know what I could cut for Anger of the Gods. I guess I could cut an Expressive Iteration for Anger of the Gods? If that was correct, it was probably more correct on the play and less correct on the draw. What I'm cutting would be Expressive Iteration. Is that reasonable? Probably not. I don't know. Yeah, it is going to be tough with the opponent on the play. And that game was tough considering we were on the draw. Also true. Though partially that was just due to the land drop sequencing being real rough. Alright, put a mulliganing. We have Lovestruck Beast. Need a third land, but I would qualify this as interactive. Sort of. Not in the sense that there's actually anything that can interact with our opponent, but in the sense that, like, conceptually this hand is capable of drawing into interaction. Which is kind of to say that it isn't. I don't know. Is blocking interaction? I feel like blocking probably counts as interaction. I don't think I'm blocking anything with haste with a 1/1 here. Oh, Lair of the Hydra on 3 tapped. You love to see it. Opponent does not. I guess we didn't end up interacting, technically? Is this the same opponent? The name looks sort of familiar. Zerker Jacopo, thank you for following too. Glad you're also enjoying the stream. Oh, because it was chat. That's why the name looked familiar. This hand seems garbage. I'm probably supposed to mulligan. This hand seems good. I'm probably supposed to draw a land that allows Lucky Clover to be untapped. Come on, deck. Any forest or island in the entire deck. Let's go. Oh no. We're playing the mirror. After all of my promises that the mirror didn't exist and couldn't hurt you anymore. Went AFK for a minute, game 3 over that fast? Yeah, they mulliganed a couple of times and then we played a Lovestruck Beast and they conceded. No, the mana, the mana. I am Bomb and Danyuk. No, yeah, Danyuk 13? Maybe Danny K13. I'm gonna go with Danny K13. That sounds more accurate, probably. Thanks for following. Glad you're both enjoying the stream. Okay, Lucky Clover. Play a tap land. Taking things nice and slow. Opponent may beat our face in, but that's not gonna hurt anybody. We did win game 3. The opponent did not produce any Magic the Gathering effects. No! Petty Theft is an unfair Magic card. Shock. Double Clover. Pray. I'm gonna die so hard. I'm like actually just dead to Clover Stomp. That's not good. You think they see the line where they grab Thud and kill me? They did, in fact, notice the line. What on earth are we supposed to do in this sideboard? I have no idea. Is Negate good? Is Lovestruck Beast bad? Ship it? I guess? Oh. The trouble with boarding in Pact is, what do we cut? That's always the problem with this deck, is I have no idea what to cut. There are some matchups where your opponent has, like, mono flyers, and Lovestruck Beast is an easy cut, which is why we have, like, extra cages that we are allowed to board into in those matchups, but... Alright, this hand's awful, so I'll keep. Never don't have Clover on to them's the rules. Haven't seen this deck ages now, the mirror. Well, I mean, our opponent was in chat, so this is perhaps something of a not terribly illustrative mirror. I think I still hold the Edgewall until I can actually play two things in a turn. Not illustrative of the meta, so much as an illustrative of a tonight-only special event kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll find some kind of tech that makes the matchup against Phoenix better. Maybe I'm not supposed to play cages and I'm just supposed to play more Anger of the Gods, and that's like the tech against Phoenix? That I can board into 2 Anger of the Gods? That could help. I could see it. Not being able to go and grab Escape to the Wilds here is actually kind of a bummer. What else would I grab? Like Negate? Opponent's probably just going to play Brazen Borrower. I guess I can just play Innkeeper and Brazen Borrower, and I'm not, like, behind, really. It forces them to decide if they want to, like, stomp my Innkeeper, and then I still get to play the Borrower. And then they don't develop their Borrower? Okay. Opponent plays Borrower. I think I'll wait on my Borrower until such time as the opponent elects to attack, because I think I probably want to trade when I'm ahead on development and close to ahead on resources, maybe? Technically. Blockity. I did say earlier the mirror was unlikely. That was my bad. I was incorrect in that sense. If they make a land drop here, do I have to fetch Pact of Negation to have an answer to Escape to the Wilds? Why haven't I brewed a deck yet that plays Galvanic Iteration and Escape to the Wilds? I feel like we need to do that. I could just get Body of Research and Thud, technically. I don't think I need to. I mean, I guess I need to get one of them. I think I get Pact of Negation. And probably Alchemist's Gambit. And then I'm 1 land away from winning on my 7-mana turn. Suggested Galvanic Iteration to replace Discovers earlier. I don't know that Galvanic Iteration really fits in this list, per se, but it's an idea for a different list as well. If you're spending that much mana, might as well make it Ultimatum instead. I mean, why not both? Why not both? Alright, here's a Bonecrusher. That's not a land. Okay, opponent doesn't have Clovers in play, so they can't combo off. Alright, then here's the plan. We have Fabled Passage. And I don't even know if the other card matters, but I guess I get Body of Research. Then I play Fae of Wishes. And if they don't remove the Fae of Wishes in play, I have lethal. No, I don't, because it costs 2 mana to return with Fae of Wishes. That's not how this works. Guess I could have got Body of Research and Thud, and then had lethal if we top decked a land. Oh, I can also just hard cast Cleave Alchemist's Gambit. Is that good? I don't know. So opponent can get 1 counterspell here, but I have Pact of Negation. They also could have sideboarded counterspells in as a possibility. Opponent gets Pact of Negation. Brazen Borrower. Okay. What do I got here? Return Fae, cast Fae. Discard Borrower, Lovestruck Beast. Get Thud, Mystical Dispute. Risky. Probably still correct. I think I've got enough health that it's probably fine. Get Thud first, in case they packed the other one of these. The Mystical Dispute doesn't help us unless we top deck a land drop, though. If they do Mystical Dispute this, that's probably fine. Alright, and I think we make 2 chump blockers. I think that's probably important to play around them trying to do some time-walky nonsense on us. Galvanic is definitely a worse Clover in this deck. I think that is the case. Okay, so they get a counterspell here. Yeah, I was worried about that. And they have enough mana to hold up said counterspell. Bummer. Okay, so we can't do this the easy way, even though we drew the land, which is just body Thud. Oh, should I have gotten expansions to Mystical Dispute? No, I wouldn't have had enough mana. Alright, attack with 1/1. Play a Lovestruck Beast. New plan. set up attacks with Lovestruck Beast and Alchemist's Gambit for, I don't know, something that looks like lethal. Yeah, Edgewall Innkeeper's bad. With Fae of Wishes, that's so good. They needed an untapped land, or they only get to play one Fae of Wishes, though? So they either have the untapped land in hand, or they're gambling that they draw it. Because they can't pass... Okay, found the untapped land. Because they can't pass with only 3 mana up. That would not be enough to win the Counterspell War that is in play currently. Alright, Bonecrusher's interesting. Attack with Lovestruck Beast, see if the opponent makes a double block that I get to punish with a Bonecrusher. So I can stomp the Fae of Wishes. They could return Fae of Wishes to hand to fizzle my Bonecrusher, discarding 2 cards, leaving themselves with only Pact and Mystical Dispute. I think I'm actually okay with that. Not killing the Edgewall might not be the best idea I've ever had, but who knows. They accept it dying. Alright. This time we get to play Fae while leaving up 4 mana. Which means I can return Fae to hand at the end of turn. The biggest problem is that I don't actually have a reason why that would be a good thing to do. Escape to the Wilds. I can't really pact that. Could Mystical Dispute it, but they've still got 4 mana either way. But letting that resolve would be a problem. I think I'm supposed to use a Pact on this, which actually means that I'm now really far behind on resources in a lot of ways. They just let this resolve and they're already ahead. Yeah, I kind of was hoping they'd fight over it. Right, an Expressive Iteration, because now I'm tapped out of the ability to combo next turn. Or am I? I am, because they still have Pact plus Mystical Dispute. Right. I could dispute that, though. I'm probably supposed to dispute that, though? I think at this point I'm now trying to play a resource war, which is hard with Edgewall Innkeeper in play. But I don't think I have the resources to fight through their pile of counterspells. Land drop. Okay. I think I played this Rootbound Crag. If we hit one more land drop, it gets us to the point where Mystical Dispute doesn't stop the combo anymore. I mean, I guess Mystical Dispute already doesn't stop the combo. They can Mystical Dispute Body of Research, but not Thud. Now they can Mystical Dispute Thud. Okay, so I think I start by Beanstalk Gianting. Eat more mana. And then I think I probably just cleave cast Alchemist's Gambit. Wait, is there a way that I win here by just casting 3-mana Alchemist's Gambit? No, because I need to discard 2 cards to Fae of Wishes. And I can't pay that part of the cost. I would prefer they not be able to Mystical Dispute this Alchemist's Gambit, so I guess I can't play it now. I could play Beanstalk Giant, though. I am dead if they have Lucky Clover. Close to it, not guaranteed. Huh. I think I play Beanstalk Giant. Next turn, can I... Okay, cool. Mystical Dispute used. That's something. We draw 1 card. Okay. I think I might have an opening next turn. Or at the very least, I think the opponent's going to have to Pact of Negation an Alchemist's Gambit next turn. Most likely. They can double stomp Fae of Wishes here, which denies me some options. Alright, cleave Alchemist's Gambit. I have not gotten Negate yet, right? Okay, then here's the plan. Next turn, granted for expansion and negate. Thud expansion with negate backup. Believe that works. It does not work because they can stomp in response. Shoot. Right. Okay, well, that doesn't help at all then. What happens if I swing with everybody here? Beanstalk on Lovestruck, chump Bonecrusher, take 1, 2, put him to 8. Which doesn't really accomplish anything meaningful, does it? So no attacks. No play on the land. Oh, the double stomp is actually so annoying. Shoot. Didn't play the Fae of Wishes in case we drew an Edgewall Innkeeper. So if I activate Fae of Wishes to return it to hand and they cast double stomp on the Fae of Wishes, it dies before it goes back to my hand. And I need that to give me the ability to go off through Pact of Negation. Well, I think that's still what I gotta do, though. Okay, cool. They did not do the double stomp line. They might still have Negate in hand, which would be a reason to wait. But no, I guess I can't actually beat a Negate here, I don't think. Oh well, can't risk it. Opponent's got too much mana at this point, they can combo off next turn, even without a Clover. Alright, is there a Negate? Counter Pact of Negation. Oh, they did board in the Negate. Oh, that's painful. Alright, I don't believe that I have any way of winning now. That's well played by them. It's better to make me go for that and lose a lot of resources than to double stomp the Fae of Wishes. Unless I choose to play around it by not casting at that turn and instead going for the Body of Research line so that the expansion act... Oh yeah, okay, that's lethal. That works. Yup. Good game. Well played. Let's see. In that spot, can I win the game, or can I avoid dying if I wait a turn to go for the body Thud with double protection line? There's... I have a 5/5 in play additionally, which I suppose lets me block Beanstalk Giant that way. Yeah, given the way that their hand was set up, I think that was a possibility. Good game, Leo boy. That was very interesting. I was sitting there debating so hard, do I want to try to beat a Negate in hand, or do I go for it now and try to play around top deck Fae of Wishes? What did you cut for the Negate? That's what I couldn't decide, so I didn't end up bringing it in. Also, any thoughts on putting Riptide Lab in those sideboard? Keep recurring Fae of Wishes without spending 2 cards. The experience that I've had is generally when that wound up being valuable, when I previously tested it, it were games where I was kind of already winning anyway, and it required them to not have removal for the Fae of Wishes, which didn't usually happen in the matchups where you had enough time for that to do. But also, the Fabled Passage providing colors turned out to be relevant just way more often, so that ended up being the pick generally. Got a Lovestruck Beast? Okay, yeah, that seems reasonable. I got a box of something. Oh, Chinese dumplings that I am excited about tonight. This hand seems bad. We'll mulligan. This hand also seems bad. We'll keep. Get rid of an Edgewall? I mean, I guess I don't need to get rid of an Edgewall. I can get rid of Expressive Iteration and just play Edgewall turn 1 and turn 2. And then maybe play a turn 3 Bonecrusher and hope. Sweet. Hoping worked. Hope never not successful. I would like to punish the opponent for not removing my edge walls by playing the Bonecrusher before attacking. No need to give the opponent an option to rectify their mistake if not required. We have not actually done this curve out with playing creatures thing yet, have we? Alright, Expressive Iteration. Now the opponent Prismari commands. I'm not exactly sure that's how Prismari command is supposed to function, but okay. So Beanstalk Giant to hand, Ketria Triome to play, swing with creatures. So this is blue-red Turbo Sarah's Angels? No, Sarah Avatar? Sarah Ascendant? Sarah... What's the name of that card? Sarah something. Okay. But all they do is kill our board. I think I'm fine with that. Sarah's Emissary. That's the one. That's the one. Alright. Opponent down to 10. While the opponent is tapped out, we are going to resolve Escape to the Wilds. Ooh, look at all those pretty cards. Do I play Edgewall here? I think I do play Edgewall because I think I'm pretty concerned about the amount of mana that I can actually successfully use next turn. And that's more important to try to cast as many cards as possible, as opposed to worrying about mana efficiency, or, well, card advantage for efficiency by protecting Edgewall. It's not that creativity doesn't run Mastery. I've definitely seen some lists that do. And I think you have to be to run Hard Evidence, most likely. Do they run Jwari Disruption? Possibly. So I could hold up Brazen Borrower here if I'm willing to throw away Beanstalk Giant. Which isn't super relevant. I can't really risk losing this Fae of Wishes is part of the problem here. Really need one more mana than this. This is unpleasant. I want to cast Beanstalk Giant so bad, but I think I gotta put the Fae of Wishes in place so I don't lose it. I've got a couple things in my board that deal with a bunch of Sarah's emissaries. And I need access to Fae of Wishes to do those. Oh, it's this version of the combo. Okay. So I should have held up Brazen Borrower then. And the Fae of Wishes was less important. So if you've never seen this combo before, Sage of the Falls means that whenever a creature enters the battlefield, they draw a card. And Locust God means whenever they draw a card, they put a creature onto the field. That is a 1/1 with haste, so they just make like 31 ones with haste and attack you. But they can't combo off with the Petty Theft held up because you can just bounce Locust God and then the combo gets shut off. Lovestruck Beast is sort of relevant against them because it attacks, but probably not enough. So I think we board into Mystical Dispute and Negate. And Grafdigger's Cage does not stop creativity, right? Yes. Because for some reason they decided creativity... Oh, also, again, you can creativity a Grafdigger's Cage. So for like 2 reasons it doesn't work. Never mind. I don't actually want to put Pact of Negation in my deck. Because it's valuable to have Fae of Wishes be able to snag it. What's the best thing? I guess I could just leave Lovestruck Beast in the deck so I theoretically have an attacker. Alternatively, I could get Expansion Explosion, which it's not a ton of things that's good against out of their deck, to be honest. No, guess it's probably supposed to be one Lovestruck Beast. Take the play, keep a hand, play a card. Top deck Clover, no top deck Clover. Ah, we're losing it. The magic is gone. Starting to think maybe this deck isn't good anymore. Alright, let's Beanstalk Giant. Be a little bit of ramp where we can. Next turn, we get to Expressive Iteration. Maybe play a Clover. We do get to play a Clover. Lucky, lucky. Do I want to loot away this Ketria Triome? There is a pretty good chance that's what I'm supposed to do next turn. Prismari command, but they're not looting, which... Alright. Could be worse. Play a Clover again, because we can. Play a land, hold up cycling Ketria Triome, I believe. Opponent draws a card. Cool by me. If the opponent combos off, am I supposed to petty theft the combo targets? If they cast Creativity, am I supposed to bounce the targets of Creativity or bounce the creatures that result from Creativity so they're stuck in hand instead of library? I'm not actually sure which is better for me. Land turns into a land. Okay. I'm assuming it's I'm supposed to bounce the creatures back to hand. I think that's better. There we go. There's a Fae of Wishes. Alright, we can do some fun stuff with that a little later. If you can kill the Scholar, they have no way to recover. It's a 2/5, correct? So it won't be as simple as stomping it twice. And Scarab God's or Locust God's a 5/5, I think. Okay. So we don't have a way to answer that yet, but I think in the short term, at least, if Brazen Borrower is our answer, then we wind up Brazen Borrowering after the spell resolves. Alright, well, we're gonna Fae of Wishes. What are we gonna get? Expansion Explosion for face, I guess? And then probably Pact of Negation? I think that's the best line for us. Possibly I should have shocked there and played Fae of Wishes. Locust God is only a 4/4. Bounce the creatures and they can combo again? Yeah, sort of. They can sort of combo again. But they have to cast a 6-drop and a 5-drop instead of just casting one 6-drop. Because they can't Creativity the cards if they're in their hand. I guess they have possibly discard outlets to cycle it back into the deck, though. I'm supposed to stomp this 4/4. I'm probably supposed to stomp this 4/4. I think Pact of Negation and Petty Theft is enough insurance against the combo. Expressive Iteration, sure. Alright, unexpected windfall makes me sad. I could copy that. Golly, that's tempting. Draw 2, make 2 treasures? I mean, on the other hand, this expansion explosion is like representing a draw 6, but why take a draw 6 when I can draw 2 instead? Huh, okay. Edgewall Innkeeper does get to draw cards. That's not bad, that's not bad. We have counterspells somewhere in this deck that we can draw eventually. Opponent has to discard a hand size. Too bad for them, they don't get to keep the other half of their deck over in a separate castable cards zone. Edgewall Innkeeper, Bonecrusher Giant, draw a card. Opponent has Spikefield Hazard for an Edgewall Innkeeper. That's downright unfair. Is that worth Pact of Negationing? That might actually almost be worth Pact of Negationing, but I don't think it is. Ooh, Escape to the Wilds. That's a fun magic card. Alright, let's do that while the opponent's tapped out. Or at least pseudo tapped out. Sweet! Alright. Magic the Gathering game actions occurring. You'll love to see it. Can I afford to play Fae of Wishes? It's close. Probably not. I think I want both Petty Thefts up here. Shock. Play Escape to the Wild. See if the opponent's got a counterspell. They do not. Play a land. Play a Wish. Guess we just get Body Research and Thud here. And then we Petty Theft. The treasures or the crabs? Probably the treasures. Nah, probably the crabs so we actually have the Brazen Borrower in exile. But the copy can hit a treasure. If they want to kill my Bonecrusher, that's fine by me. I don't really need that. Okay, go to combat. Crusher down. Magma Opus. Treasure's tapped is moderately annoying, but I can probably live with that. I could Mystical Dispute the Magma Opus here, because I'm losing the Mystical Dispute anyway. Question is, which cards, or which mana to use? I don't think the treasures do me any good other than for playing around Jwari Disruption. Or rather, I don't think having 3 mana up is any different from having 2 mana up, other than it lets me play around Jwari Disruption. And if I use a land here to Mystical Dispute the Magma Opus to remove their treasure... Yeah, I think I want 2 more mana next turn. I believe that's probably useful. Okay, opponent, pass to you. So if they can go off through double Brazen Borrower plus Pact of Negation, then I guess we lose. But I suspect they are not capable of doing that. Just straight up cast Sage of the Falls. Okay. Didn't try to creativity the other half? Yes. Alright, how best to go around this? I don't want to use the Pact of Negation, I don't think. Well, the opponent could also be playing Pact of Negation, huh? Let's see. Well, they're probably playing Mystical Dispute. So let's make them Mystical Dispute our Pact of Negation. No, they have also Pact of Negation. Well, shoot. That means that the Magma Opus probably killed me. Wait, no. If I do this the right way, and I can do this the right way, they need to counter both petty thefts, not just one. I forgot how that works. Okay. Alright. I forgot how my own cards worked there. My brain was stuck up on the fact that I lost if they countered petty theft. But that's much harder to do when there's a Lucky Clover in play. Well, no changes, I don't believe. Why not target the crab with both petty thefts? So originally I was kind of debating whether it was correct to bounce the creatures that they have in play after the creativity, because putting them in hand is worse for them than if they are in the library. But it occurred to me that if they have an opt in response to my petty theft, they still get to restart the combo or any other card that draws cards, and that would be bad for me. So I decided to split the difference, because in that case the creature was already in play, so I was able to petty theft before they had the ability to restart the combo with an opt, but also put the creature back in hand as opposed to leaving it on the battlefield, because it costs them a lot more mana to start the combo by playing it from hand than anywhere else. An extra 5 mana, which, you know, can matter. Boop. Alright, we play Clover, we get Expressive Iteration next turn. That's not terrible. Ideally, they don't answer the Clover, and then we top deck Beanstalk Giant. That would be delightful. We do not, but we do get to Expressive Iteration. Okay. Do I need more Fae of Wishes right now? I guess I don't not need more Fae of Wishes right now. Opponent can't combo off next turn, but they can combo off any turn after that. I'm lacking a lot of blue sources, which means I can't Pact of Negation and I can't cast Brazen Borrower. I do not expect our opponent will be Mizzix's Masterying this turn. There is a blue source. That is delightful. So opponent can combo off next turn, and I need to respect that as a result. So unfortunately, cannot play anything now. That is a lot of Fae of Wishes and not a lot of mana to do anything with. Rough. Okay, I think we're playing Edgewall Innkeeper and then hard casting a Fae of Wishes then. Which does block a 1/1 at least. Escape to the Wilds, but I don't really have enough mana to do anything with that. Not without exposing myself in a way that I can't really afford. Basically always have to leave up Brazen Borrower. Fire Prophecies, the Edgewall Innkeeper. Understandable. Fire Prophecy is also a card they can use to restart the combo in response to removal, which I think means that I'm just always supposed to try to fizzle creativity and not bounce the creatures unless the opponent's totally tapped out. Okay, now that we're on 6 mana, we do get to Granted, while still holding up Petty Theft. We get to get a Pact of Negation for extra insurance. We get to get Expansion Explosion. I think it behooves me to attack here and try to race. If they cycled a 4-mana Shark, I could Petty Theft both Sharks and it wouldn't be the end of the world. The Prismari command is pretty bad for me. Do kind of need that Clover. I'm sort of surprised they let me untap with it if they had a Prismari command, though. They kind of got punished for that. Creativity, huh? Alright, and I think I'm on Brazen Borrower now instead of Brazen Borrower after. I don't know if that's completely correct, but I think that it's probably correct. Locust God is definitely the one I wanted them to have less, so that sucks. Alright, well, let's jam Escape to the Wilds. Well, it's cards that are sort of helpful eventually. And hopefully eventually means next turn. So we hold up Pact of Negation and Expansion and hope we can avoid dying to bug tokens. Yep, 4 damage. End of turn, use the mana, stomp a bug token. Might delay lethal by 1 turn. Hard to say, but you never know. Alright. 3, 6, 7. I think I got a Fertile Footsteps here. I can't afford to play the Beanstalk Giant and the Edgewall Innkeeper. Okay, we can Fae of Wishes here. And we can Brazen Borrower if they attack with the Locust God and double block the Locust God. I think that's better than playing Bonecrusher. Discover the formula into a bunch of adventure creatures seems busted. We did try that at the beginning. I wasn't super sold on it. We ran into the situations where we had, that's a bummer. Where we had Discover the Formula in hand, and it kind of just was really expensive. So we're trying Expressive Iteration instead. I'm not sure if it's better. Expressive Iteration is definitely worse in spots like this, though. It's the curving out spots where we were losing mostly to missing land drops that Expressive Iteration has me suspicious it's better against. They know about the Pact of Negation. If I play the Brazen Borrower... I don't think I can play the Brazen Borrower to draw a card here. I don't think that advantage is enough to shut off the ability to not just die if they have a counterspell plus... Really? Okay. So you have another Spikefield Hazard then? Is that what's going on here? They can't combo off post-combat. This comes back at the end of turn. Then they have to recast it. Mostly I expect they Spikefield Hazard the Brazen Borrower. Prismari Command. Okay. I could Pact of Negation this. That might be worthwhile. I think that actually probably is worthwhile. I'm banging a lot on them not having a different removal spell for this Locust God, though. No, I think this is fine. I can Explosion that Locust God for a lot. For 4? And still hold up through Mystical Dispute? Yeah, the draw discard mode on Prismari Command when there's a Locust God in play is pretty strong, and it is interesting that they chose not to do that. Okay, I think we pass here. I don't think... So we're in the end of turn. Okay, I think I'm supposed to kill the Locust God now that they've activated that ability. And I want to do it through Mystical Dispute. Would suck for me if the opponent has a Pact of Negation here, because I'd have to Pact of Negation that back, then they don't have to spend the mana and I do. But I can't give up the draw force, so I'm kind of obligated for it. Fading Hope targeting Fae of Wishes? Really? Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. I feel like they must have meant to do that to Locust God. Yeah, alright, they did a Pact of Negation. Yeah, still. Can't not let this happen. Oh, drew Brazen Borrower. Drew 2 Brazen Borrowers. Alright, that's good stuff. Oh, because I'm going to discard a hand size and that's why they bounced the Fae. Okay, that kind of makes sense, other than I don't think that was worth losing a treasure and a card for them. Especially not when they had a loot mode available. Oh, Sage of Fall is also gone. How are you winning the game, opponent? Did they think they're beating me down with bug tokens? Oh, I guess they're going to get back the Locust God, and that's kind of how they think they're winning the game. Which, okay, fair. Not totally unreasonable. Hard evidence? Sure. 1 card in hand. Locust God back to hand. I cycle Triome. Hold on to Petty Thefts. Lucky Clover. He's good. Remember to pay my triggers. Would have lost the game in paper because I definitely would have forgotten. Play Lucky Clover. I mean, I'm not really in danger of getting comboed off here, so I guess I can just play Bonecrusher. Yeah, might as well, I guess. I'm like wicked close to just winning the game next turn if they're not representing a counterspell at that point. Okay, they draw a card, so they'll probably be representing a counterspell by then. So we are very close to the point where I can, like, grab 6 cards from my sideboard and take an extra turn. Okay, Locust God. Would like to bounce this crab. And that god. What you got to say about that, opponent? Want to counterspell the copy that's bouncing Locust God? Alright, I respect it. One card left in hand, eh? Okay, so combat. Smork. Okay. What do I get to get with granted here? I believe I get to get Time Walk and Thud. Then I play a land. And then I cleave a Time Walk. Opponent does have something they can do in response here. Oh, okay. They can concede. That's fair. So this is like about as fair as it possibly gets. So I'm just going to hope my opponent's on Gruul. Because I don't think this hand can ever beat Phoenix. Mountain is a very bad sign, but maybe it's still Gruul. So they have something with 1 red mana they can go face, possibly Spikefield Hazard, possibly Shock if they're playing some kind of burn deck. No. So they waited. Interesting opponent. Interesting. Curious. I don't really want to jam Edgewall. I could jam Fae of Wishes. Probably not. No, I think we jam Breeding Pool. Oh, I should jam Stomping Ground so that if next turn I go Edgewall Innkeeper into Fae of Wishes, I have the option to Expressive Iteration the turn after that. Okay, so I'm putting my opponent on mono red, which means they probably use the instant speed deal 2 to us that gives their next spell the Expressive Iteration clause, but nope. Chain Whirler. Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't play Edgewall. I imagine it's cheap because Chris enjoys it. Yeah. Same with the deck list command. I figured more people would show me their deck lists if I made it, like, cost 100 than if I just had a standing rule that I would do it for free. Let's see here. Let's see. I think I'm just supposed to play a Lovestruck Beast against a Goblin Chain Whirler. Wait, do we think opponents on Goblins, or are they just on a mono red deck that's playing Chain Whirler? They appear to just be on a mono red deck that's playing Chain Whirler because I'm reading this as a burn spell. But if they want to burn spell my Lovestruck Beast, that's fine. Yup. Don't think Goblins runs Chain Whirler. Some of them do. I have seen some. Okay. Well, we Edgewall. And then we Edgewall, and the opponent burns our Edgewall, and I'm sad. Come on, opponent, let it resolve. Let it resolve. Don't burn the Edgewall in response. Don't play correctly. No. Disappointing. Chain Whirler is surprisingly playable now that Humans is popular. Is Humans popular? I kind of feel like Humans sort of died off in the last, like, month and a half. Never seen what Goblins runs, there's weird lists. That's true. But Lightning Strike, I'm going to say 100% means burn. Yes, opponent, I will accept this block. If you wish to use a removal spell to kill Fae of Wishes, you may. Oh, but not another Chain Whirler. Can't be another Chain Whirler. That'd be busted. Not allowed. Have to actually spend a card to kill my Fae of Wishes opponent. That's the rules. Hazoret. Okay. Well, I do love the idea of Brazen Borrower against Hazoret. Oh, I love all these cards, so this is kind of a problem. I guess I'll take Brazen Borrower and then play Lucky Clover this turn. I'm probably going to wind up taking 5 damage from Hazoret, but I guess that's okay. Cemetery Gatekeeper? That's actually kind of concerning. What'd you exile? Creatures. Okay, not a problem. Blockchain Whirler. Luckily, this does not share any creature types with a creature. Or rather, I guess, not a super type. What is that? Just a type? The creature types are subtypes. This does not share any types with Edgewall Innkeeper. Not when played on this mode, anyway. Alright, I think we are on plan continue to Dirtle. I don't imagine Cemetery Gatekeeper will be attacking this turn into Fae of Wishes, which... oh my. Well, you are free to take 2 damage, opponent. I would like to return to my opponent's hand a Glorybringer. And what else? probably a Cemetery Gatekeeper, so I don't have to take damage from playing creatures. Sounds like the reasonable choice. So, opponent, you can attack with a Chain Whirler if you want to. Not feeling it. Huh. Surprising. Okay, well, Fae of Wishes kind of makes this simple. So, I guess I'm going to go tutor up that combo that wins me the game next turn. Okay. Well, that was easier than I was expecting. Do we cut anything? There's not really anything worth cutting, huh? I could bring in a Shadow Spear, I guess, but why bother doing that? That would imply that any of the cards in my deck are less than perfect, and I see no reason to accept that implication. I could probably board in Anger of the Gods and not be too upset about it. Well, I'm not seeing this hand getting there. I am seeing the hand of 2 Bonecrusher Giants and a Lovestruck Beast getting there. That one seems like it's got some potential. I don't think Mono Red is going to be super excited to play against this. Yeah, Omnath isn't banned in Historic, but it costs 1 more and doesn't draw cards, so it kind of sucks a lot. But mostly unplayable. I did debate it. I did think about it, but not really there, unfortunately. Don't Chain Whirler me, opponent. I can't handle a Chain Whirler. Oh, it's just for Osnon. Cool. Okay. Boop. Play Lovestruck. Take a point. That's the turn. Oh, I should have attacked with the 1. Well, no. If I attack with the 1/1, they just don't block. No, not the Chain Whirler. The Chain Whirler counters my ability to block. Curse you, menace creatures! Alright, well, unfortunately, we do actually have to make this land drop. Luckily, we top deck the ability to make a 1/1 blocker so that we can double blank Ramaging Procedon. That might be good. Might not. I don't know. Yeah, the rebalancing in addition to banning and unbannings, it gets confusing, especially when Alchemy has a different list going on, and Standard also has a different list going on of all of mostly the same cards. It's much. It's very much. Chandra, I kind of imagine down ticks on the 1/1. No. Upticks to play a Chain Whirler? Oh, that'd be extremely bad. Alright, Rampaging Ferocidon, punch his face. Make me sad. Very sad. Alright, down to 10. Lucky Clover? Oh, Lucky Clover's good. Think of all the stomping we can do with a Lucky Clover in play. Mind you, we are short a red source, so it's not like we can start double stomping next turn. So we're probably still falling too far behind on tempo to handle the Chandra and Den of the Bugbear that's in play right now. Yeah, that's an ouchies. Glorybringer also ouchies. So I'm going to 2 here. Then we have to kill the Glorybringer. I'd love to draw Petty Theft right now. Drawing Petty Theft would be swell. Also, being at 2 against a Chandra sounds bad? Probably. Anyway, Hobbinrude, thanks for the follow. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Okay, so that seems useless. If I top decked a red source, maybe we had a chance. But without a red source, Stomp the Ferocidon. Block the Chain Whirler, die to Chandra. No real way around that. Not that I can see. But we are probably supposed to board in 2 Angers. I just don't know what for. Maybe the 2 Expressive Iterations? Maybe the 2 Edgewall Innkeepers, actually? That might actually be it. Yeah, I think that was right. We've certainly seen enough 3/3s from the opponent that Anger looks pretty impressive. We will Dixie play. We will get rid of the hand. We will keep the hand. Yeah. That's not exciting. Okay, I think I gotta get rid of a Clover. Well, no, let's get rid of Fae of Wishes. Maybe that's not right. That's probably wrong. I don't agree with my decisions, but I will live with them. We'll just have Expressive Iteration top deck something relevant. It'll be fine. There's no possible way this could go badly for me. Is this Magic Arena? It is. Yes. I do appreciate my opponent not really doing anything, though. That's kind of cool. You know, when I said there was no possible way this could go wrong, I think that I forgot about this possibility. Okay. Well, we just have to top deck something relevant.
Over here. Yup. You're going down.
Well, admittedly, Anger could be worse here. I don't love the part where I take damage for doing it, but it could be worse. Right about now, I do wish that I had a Fae of Wishes in my hand instead of this forest. That'd be helpful. Chandra Ultimate, a little scary. Maybe we'll find a Petty Theft in time to do something about that. Chain Whirler, alright. Could be worse. Okay. Cycle a Ketria Triome. Okay. That's not bad. The good news is if we draw a Fae of Wishes and aren't dead, we do win the game. We have enough mana for that. So mostly we just need to not die. We did cycle a Fae of Wishes back into our deck, so that's cool. We do get to cycle this Ketria Triome, so that's cool. So we do die if the opponent shocks my face down to 9, and then plays untap land Goldspan, or just Hazoret and empties their hand. But that's a tiny bit hard. They need to go like land Hazoret, uptick Chandra for mana. No, uptick Chandra for mana doesn't work because then they only do 8 damage. Alright, so it's kind of difficult for them to kill us here. Land, alright. That puts us to 7. So we just need to avoid, you know, untap land and a Goldspan. Wow, it actually worked. Sweet. Okay, down to 4. There's no possible way the opponent could have 4 damage worth of burn spell here, I don't think. That's a little much to ask out of 4 mana. So ideally the opponent just plays a Chain Whirler here. Stomp face. Okay. That puts us to 2. Opponent doesn't have too many cards in their deck that go face, but I guess they do actually have most of their deck. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, so even if we had kept the... Oh, right, we shuffled. If we had kept the Fae of Wishes, that was our turn 6. So we could have cast Fae of Wishes to get Thud, Body of Research. And we couldn't have gotten the Time Walk, but we could have gotten... I mean, we could have just played the Fae of Wishes and gotten Pact of Negation, I suppose. Although Pact of Negation probably wouldn't have been super good there. But, yeah, that probably would have won. I needed to have more faith in our ability to draw lands, I suppose.